that better? Hello to everyone. This is going to be hopefully, or definitely going to be my second video on this channel. This is going to be, and this is the first episode of my new show, which is going to be called Movie Talk. Please, everyone, enjoy. Okay, so we're going to be talking about two movies specifically, which include Sin City and Spider-Man 2. Let's talk about Sin City first, because that was the first one that I watched. I believe it is right here. And I'm just going to put it out. Have that right by my side. I hope I don't elbow it. Sin City. Great movie. Yeah, I honestly love this movie. I fell in love with it the first time I saw it. It's very stylized. That's not the reason why I fell in love with it quite. I love the acting in this movie. I love the direction in this movie. It's apparently directed by the guy who wrote the did the graphic novel. That's pretty impressive. And to do this good a job, that's very, very, like, kudos to you, man. Kudos to you, Frank Miller. You did good, man. You did really good. This movie stars Bruce Willis, Mickey Rourke, Clive Owen, excuse me, and Jessica Alba. There are a lot more people, but those are the four mains, I guess you could say. Anyway, so this movie is told very comic booky, and what I mean by that is, they are all, it's not particularly told in sequence. Here's what I mean by that. So basically, you get Bruce Willis. You get a piece of Bruce Willis' story, and then you get the entire Mickey Rourke story, and then you get the entire Clive Owen story, and then you get the rest of Bruce Willis's. And they're all tied in. It's not like Valentine's Day or like Crazy Stupid Love, which are, at least Crazy Stupid Love is a good movie in its own right, but it's not, like it's all intertwined and it's going as, it's not like that. Like, you'll see one character die and then they'll be in the next one. It's just like, oh, is he? Oh, okay, this is just going back and telling the rest of that story. Okay, now I get you, I see where you're coming from. And I really love that about this movie. Being my age, which is in my mid-teens, I haven't seen many movies, so I'm wondering, are there any more movies like this? I highly doubt it. And there's really not much to say about this movie other than the fact that it's hard to get the style out of your head. It's really hard to get the style out of your head. It's all shot in black and white with, I believe it's primary colors only shown, and it's spectacular. Really, it all looks great. Especially on Blu-ray. I only have a small TV, but the sound either way is great. It's really, really good. And that's all I'm going to talk about Sin City, because at this point I am rambling. Here's Spider-Man 2. This movie is very, very nostalgic for me. Nostalgic is definitely the word, because I watched this movie when I was only 5 years old. It just got released on DVD. And I was a huge fan of Spider-Man. I really was. And so I was waiting for this movie. I was waiting to just go out and see it. And then I do, but it's on DVD because I freaked out during Shrek 2. That's how much of a wuss I was when I went to theaters. Now I can go and see Rush and I'm perfectly fine. But I go to see this. I see this movie, and at that time I loved it for the action, but now I love it for the characters. I'm not gonna lie. Doc Ock is amazing. He's a great villain. Some people say he's bland. I don't see it. I see a great character, along with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I personally prefer Andrew Garfield just because they could both sell the nerdiness of Peter Parker and the charisma of Spider-Man, but I found that Andrew Garfield, he sold the nerdiness of Peter Parker just a bit better. That's just me. But either way, Tobey Maguire does a really, really good job with this movie. I mean, let's face it, Spider-Man's kind of a hard character to portray. And he does it very well. Very, very well. Mary Jane, I still find very whiny. Like, is she that whiny in the comic books? I've only read the more recent ones. Like, in the older ones, is she that whiny? Leave in the comments, please. I need to know. I need to know this. It's haunting me and my nightmares. It's like Freddy Krueger. I watched the extended version of this movie. Going off the acting. Wait, just going back to acting for 1 second. J.K. Simmons is amazing in this movie. He's hilarious. Seriously. And that segues into the extended cut of this movie. The Blu-ray that I got comes with the theatrical and extended. I would say get this because the extended cut is so, I found was a lot better. To be honest, I loved the original cut, and then I go back and see it again, and I see the extended cut, and it's so much better, especially in terms of story. You get to see more character interaction, and I felt like it ties in a bit better, and you feel more like these characters, know each other, and they connect. The chemistry is definitely a highlight of the chemistry between the actors is definitely a big highlight of the movie. Now, what was I gonna say? I just completely forgot what I was gonna say. I was on the chemistry between the actors, and there are scenes where they are absolutely hilarious. They were added in. I personally don't remember them from the original cut, but they are hilarious. I definitely recommend watching them, and yeah, I still find the romance a bit cheesy, as do some people. But I mean, really, please tell me, is Spider-Man? Come on, you lucky son of a gun. Let's face it, if I was Spider-Man, most girls wouldn't want me. At least that's what I wish. Satirical. Anyway, I hope this first video is very informative. Very informative for, a Blu-ray video. As informative as one of those can be. Everyone, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everyone, because I'm down to like 4 subscribers, like I said in my first video. Yeah, peace.